Hey skaters, it Stace here from Next Edge Tutorials, and this lesson today I'm going to be showing you how to connect steps and turns. So if you're new to skating or have been skating for a while, you love going around the ice rink practicing tricks and turns. Well, something that I faced as a skater was practicing the exact same thing over and over again, not coming up with something new, connecting steps together. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that so you can create a new exercise with all your skills that you have. So before I show you how to connect all these steps and turns together, I want you to click on the link below in the description for your free PDF guide on the 4 turns that we have in figure skating. I want you checking out this PDF because we will be using these turns and it's just going to give you more knowledge and more understanding of exactly what we're doing. So give it a click now. So before I start connecting steps and turn, there are 2 things I need to be certain of. The first one, is it going to be an exercise? Is it going to be choreography? Is it going to be a step sequence? Because that will really determine what type of steps I will be doing. If it's a step sequence, I know that I have to do a certain amount of turns on each foot. If it's an exercise, I'm going to make sure that I repeat it a couple of times. That way my skater really grasps the turns that I will be doing. And the second thing that I always think about is if it's moving down the ice, I want to create something that has one direction one way, one direction the other way. That way it's moving down the ice, because if I put all turns that move in the exact same way, it's gonna put me on a circle. So these are things I have to think about when coming up with steps and turns on the ice. All right, this is where the fun begins. And today I've decided that we are going to be doing an exercise and the direction is going to be moving down the ice. Now, there are 2 things that I like to think about. We have direct and indirect connecting steps. Now, what does that mean? The first one is direct connecting steps. So that means that from, let's say I do a right forward inside counter turn, and then from there, I can do another counter turn. So you're going from the exit of one edge directly to another edge. I don't put my foot down in between to do a crossover and then step. So now let's look at an indirect connecting step. So I might go, let's take that counter turn. I might do a shift, back crossover, and then 3 turn. So those are my indirect connecting steps. So this is something that I think about every single time I do an exercise, I do a step sequence, I do choreography. I like to think about what's happening with my turns. Now, knowing all that information, and it can be a bit confusing, we're gonna move down the ice with this exercise and I'm going to call everything out for you. We are going to do in the first part, direct connecting steps, and then indirect connecting steps. So let's begin. So this first one I'm gonna start off with is a right forward inside rocker. So I'm going to go right forward inside rocker. Now I'm going to do a direct counter turn, a direct 3 turn, 3 turn. Now here's my indirect. So I'm gonna go inside 3 cross, shift, back, crossover, step, slip. Now I'm back to my direct connecting steps. And then it's just gonna roll down the ice because this is my whole entire exercise. Like I spoke about earlier, I like things to repeat down the ice in an exercise. Now we're gonna go back down the ice and we're gonna fit in 2 sets of this exercise. So I'm gonna start again with that right forward rocker. I'm gonna pull up in my body. I'm gonna do our rocker, counter, 3 turn, 3 turn, inside 3 cross, shift, back crossover, step, slip the foot. Now our direct turns. Our indirect, and then you can repeat it again. So I just really want you to understand that we have direct turns and we have indirect turns. And this is something that I think about when creating exercises, step sequence, choreography. It's just really important, and it will also help you to create something new and unique for yourself. Now that we're done with the exercise, I hope that you can see by using direct and indirect steps and turns can create something fun and unique. Now, if I can give you one bit of advice, please know your exit and entry edge for all your steps and turns. It's something that's so important because that's how we can create a direct turn from one to the other. Let's give an example right now. So if I do a right forward outside 3 turn, I know that after the turn, it exits on a right back inside edge. Well, immediately my brain goes, ooh, a counter turn, a back inside counter turn starts on a back inside edge and exits on a forward inside edge. So I'm going to merge those two together. I'm gonna take that 3 turn and I'm gonna take that counter turn, I'm gonna put them together. So I'm gonna do a right outside 3, then immediately a back inside counter hold. And those are direct turns. I go from one to the other without putting my foot down. Now, an example of indirect would be, I'll take a forward inside 3 turn. I might go forward inside 3, then a forward crossover, and then I'll repeat a 3 turn going the other way, and then forward crossover. So those are indirect. Just taking those turns and putting them together. It's like the alphabet. You have all these letters. Yes, we have all the letters. And if we put them together, what does it create? Words. That's exactly what we're doing in skating. We have the knowledge of all these turns, and we just need to put them together to create something fun and unique. All right, so this is the end of our lesson, and I know there is a lot of information and it can be overwhelming. So drop a comment below if you want us to dive in deeper into anything that I've spoken about today. Thanks for watching Next Ed Tutorials, and happy skating.